Hello everybody, welcome back to Scrappy Adam and welcome back to Follow a Sketch February. We are on to day 14 and today is this lovely sketch here. We've got sort of a diagonal, what, what looks like a cross-hatch stitched sort of design going from top left to bottom right. We've got a big title and lots of focus here with some pattern strips at the top. So that is today's sketch. I have got a whole host of bits and bobs. So let me just get these out of the way. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. So this was today's page kit. So in this page kit we have got lots of embellishments, lots of Vicky Bootin print shop and where to next. We've got some acrylic items. We've got some cut parts from Lollipop Box Club. We've got some chipboard from My Mind's Eye and Simple Stories. And lots of bits and bobs really. We have got a photo of Mick with Usain Bolt. Not the Usain Bolt. It's at Madame Tussauds in London. And then for my background we have got this paper from Amy Tangerine. And then all of these scraps. So we got some Lollipop Box Club, American Crafts, Chamel, Vicky Bootin, and then this piece which is a textured cardstock that I have embossed when I was making cards. I don't know why I put that in, but I did. So that's what we've got. I need to decide what we're going to do, really, don't I? So I think at the top we've got a torn element which I think I would like to include a little bit of this in. So I'm going to go right in and tear this, and then I have cut off a small piece which is going to go at the top. That piece is going to go in the bin because I don't have time for small pieces in my life. And then we're also going to have a stripe up here as well. What I think we might do on the other side of this, just to be a little bit different, let's give it a scalloped edge. I am having a proper sort out in the office, flare room, scrap room. One room fits all, and I have finally, I think, cracked it with how I need things to be sorted. And I need things to be on show, easily accessible, so not in a load of stacked boxes, because that means I have to move said stacked boxes, and I don't. So I had my washi tape all lovely and organised, but I never was pulling it because it meant I had to move a few boxes. I know it sounds ridiculous. So I am sorting that out. And one of the things that I have done is right in front of me, right here, near this tripod leg, I now have a 3-tier, it's actually bathroom storage. Look in bathroom and kitchen storage for your craft room storage. Amazing ideas. And now I've got all my inks and ink sprays right in front of me. All my stencil butters and glazes and pastes and all of that fun stuff. So I'm going to start using it all. Then I also have punches on display. I've got washi in drawers, all in one level display. So things are more easily accessible. So I'm going to attempt to start using all the things. Because I realise, yes, I've not got new stuff for a long time, but I still have a lot of stuff. For example, we've even been sorting acrylic into coloured drawers. All sorts of fun stuff going on, and I will show you once it's all finished. We will do a full-on craft room tour. So with that in mind, I have pulled out Vicky Bootin art crayons. I have 4 packs of these, never used them. and some Nuvo drops. I have like 30 bottles, never use it. So we're going to try and use this stuff. Especially mixed media, because it doesn't last, does it? It has a shelf life. Okay. So after that ramble, what I thought about these is drawing a crosshatch. But what I didn't show you, I did also bring in a load of stamps, and I thought about just stamping on the background to create some sort of effect, either with the stitch stamp, but I quite like the idea of using this visible image. So let us get some ink in. If we look at our picture, obviously Usain's colours are green and yellow. Got yellow paper, so I will probably get a mowed lawn. This might go completely wrong, and if it does, that's a-okay. We'll cover it up. But we have, let me just refocus that for you. We have this stamp set, which is the Mesh Alanius from Visible Image. And we've got some Distress Oxide in Mowed Lawn. And what I thought is we're just going to sort of stamp coming down a little bit. And then I will just keep adding a top of it. And we'll create a sort of mess, I suppose. Obviously, I hope it looks a little bit better than a mess, but what I thought is if I then stamp using the L Studio stitches, we might get some sort of cool thing going on. Don't get me wrong, it might look absolute rubbish, and that's okay. We're just playing, it's paper, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't turn out how you expect, is it, at the end of the day? Okay, so I'm just going to keep going over this bit, like so. So that's probably enough of that, so let's get the stitches stamp. So two of my favourite stamp sets, home sewn stitches from L Studio and the exclusive textures from Art by Marlene. I am going to use a couple of these stitches from L's. So let's just go like this. I've also just picked up from my newly organised drawers, I hasten to add, a couple of washi tapes in, it's like a green mixed media and a Vicky Booten layered mixed media thing going on. And now we have got Black Suit Distress Oxide, so we're just going to stamp some stitched details in and amongst this. So nothing special here, we're just coming at it quite randomly. Like so. Kind of reminds me of a crisscrossy pattern like the sketch, but it's not uniform or accurate. It's kind of a bit jumbled, which I kind of like. So we're going to go for that kind of look. So that's probably it for that. Giving the stamp a wipe as I finish. Also, for anybody with the home sewn stitches stamp, this is perfect for outlining your flyer if you're no good at threading them like I am not. Then we're going to use a couple of these. Obviously, we're going to add a couple of the plus signs, which is what got me into this stamp set in the first place because of Christina. So let's add a couple of them. Again, quite randomly. And I'm purposely double stamping so that we get a different amount of colour. then I think I will also add, let me pop that back. Let's see. Should we add some squiggles? Squiggles are always good, aren't they? Do we think? So we're kind of coming in now with our squiggles, and I'm not lining it up, but I'm doing the squiggles near to where we have the stitches. Okay, so kind of like that. And then finally I will get another green, and I'm going to do some circles. I don't know if I have another green actually. I will need to check. Let's see. I have got a dark one, but we're going to use Catherine Pooler Grass Skirt. And we're just going to add a couple of these around our stamped background there. And I'm applying different pressure at different points of the stamp, so we get only part of the image showing in some of it. And then very lightly just coming around like so. So that finishes that off nicely. So now we can get rid of the wet inky stuff and Adam can stop getting covered in it. Now I have just taken one of the Vicky Boutin art crayons and I'm literally just going around randomly and adding a little bit of colour with it. I am not doing anything special with it at all because I am not a pro with these at all. I need to watch some YouTube videos and figure out what to do with it, but I'm just adding a bit of colour with that one anyway. So we're going to add that, and then let's just do a little bit of the lighter one. Not much at all, just coming down like so. Quite randomly, to be honest. Now this bit looks a bit random here, but I'm going to cover that with paper. Okay, and that is literally all I am doing. So let me just wash my hands and then we can get cutting and sticking paper. I'm just adding some torn washi, which I had forgot that I had pulled out. And I'm literally just adding it quite randomly across our messy area. So we're just adding very thin, unvarying strips just to add a little bit of extra detail in and amongst. There we go. So not much at all. That will probably suffice. We can always add more. So that is our sort of messy side of the page. In terms of layers of papers, let's see. So we have got, so we've sort of got 3 or 4. So I am going to add a little bit of this hexagon. That is going to go about there. We are going to add a little bit of this, but not an awful lot. More so because we have it at the top, so I want to just make sure it's represented at the top. In the middle, sorry. And then I am going to bring in a bit of this yellow into here. So we'll probably pop those layers something like that. then our photo is going to go atop of that. So our photo is going to go there. Now the photo on the sketch is a landscape. I am using a portrait, but that's okay. Now I do want to use a bit of this emboss, because I don't do embossing stuff much. So I'm just going to tear all the way around the actual embossed part, like so. Let's see, should I tuck it under there maybe? I feel like this is very much a torn paper layout, so those straight edges they're messing with me. So I'm gonna get rid of them, and we are gonna go for it on the torn paper. If you're gonna do something, just do it and embrace it. There we go. So that is that. Now we have these papers, so it's a case of whether we want any more green, and I think let's see. Then we'll have a bit of this dark green, just as a little accent and to highlight the dark greens of the mixed media. Well, if you can call it that. Well, no, it is mixed media, I suppose. Okay, so that's probably where I'm at. So I'm going to get those layers stuck down. Okay, so that took a little mind of its own. It looked very stark with the lines down here, so I just started tearing, then I cut a slit in, and then we ended up here. So I've backed it just with the B side of a paper that I won't use, and then I used the washi tape. So we've got a very distressed sort of feel to this layout. And now what I always say is, if you're building up layers, clusters, you want lots of texture, build up your photo cluster off your layout and then add it in after. And that's exactly what I have done, and that's what we have ended up with. And then when I pop this on here, this is where it takes us. So I've kind of taken the sketch and made it my own. I've very much focused too much on here rather than diagonally, but that's okay. That is definitely okay, because the sketch has certainly inspired this layout. Now I do feel like I'm not going to need all of these embellishments that I have brought in, which again is okay. What I'm thinking is it might be fun to add in some of these. Not sure, you know. I don't think I am. I'm going to leave them. I am going to use a couple of these plus signs just to add a little bit of extra texture to this area, because it's very textureful. So let's continue that on. So we're going to have that going on there. They are from Redefined Creative, I think it is. Now we've got this here, which I am thinking of using. This doesn't really go. I don't know what I was thinking with this page kit, to be honest, but there we go. We don't have all that many embellishments on our sketch, so we're kind of making it up from here on out, if I'm honest. I am going to tuck this camera in there. You can tell it's a camera, so that is a-okay with me. Add a little bit of adhesive there. Then we've got this say cheese piece, which was, I actually bought this when we were on a European road trip. We drove from home in England to Berlin, Prague, Amsterdam, Antwerp, Hamburg, Germany for a family wedding, a few other places. And it was in a shop randomly in the middle of Dresden. Who knew? So that is from my mind's eye. These, I don't know what I was thinking. Noted, a good story. I do quite like that, but again, not sure that is going to work. I am going to use this piece, which is Tim Holt's Ideology something or other. And then we've got this fun denim pocket. It's denim from Hip Kit, and I kind of want to use it. I don't know why, but I do. That's not going to work. Don't think that's going to work. This page kit just, I don't know, as I say, what was I thinking? But that's okay. That is okay. I am going to add this because we do have a bit of orange in the paper, and I just think it's a fun extra element. So I'm just going to add that there, like so. Now our title is probably going to be Say Cheese. I can't think of a clever title. Steph, if you're watching, feel free to comment down below with a good title, or anybody else for that matter, because I can't think of one. Maybe we could put a title here or within this mess. Now the sketch, so we have kept this bit at the top, we have kept a bit of this at the background, and we've kind of got our layers going on, and then we've taken it our own way, which is what it's all about. So I'm not disappointed with it. I actually love the layout. I think it's quite arty. It's just nothing how I thought. So we could use these for our title. These are Heidi's swap, and then I also have these. So I did think about adding a couple of photo corners, which I always think are quite retro these days. We don't use them much, do we? Not that I've been scrapbooking that long, but they feel like they're even retro for me. And then this was the cut apart sheet from Lollipop Box Club, which we have not ended up using anyway. I've almost finished this label sheet, and I don't think... Nope, they are no good. Okay, the last thing I am going to use is some Bo Bunny Beautiful Things puffies. Mini puffy stickers. Just because I feel like some of these colours work. So let's add in a little heart beach bubble, and then we've got some chevrons, which I thought would be quite funky to add atop of all this mixed media. So I'm going to add 3 there, like so, and then I'm going to add 3 pointing down as well. Like so. We have got some wordy bits, so let's add in lovely and happy. And then finally, to finish it off, I'm just going to add in a couple of arrows. They are going to point in various directions, which I feel like fits our layout, like so. So they are quite discreet, but I quite like the effect that they give. And now, to finish us off, do I want to add some Nuvo? I think I do. Just going to tear a bit off there. And I'm going to test it like so. So this one is Crystal Drops Gloss Dandelion Yellow. I think I'm going to just go for it. And we're just going to add some of these in and amongst here as well. Various sizes. And again, quite randomly done. I am sort of sticking to where the dots are. And I think it just gives, again, another texture. So we've got the washi here, we've got the puffy stickers, we've got a little bit of acrylic. We have got the art crayon, we've got the stamps, we've got the ink. So it just gives you that other dimension. And I quite like it. Don't know if yellow was the right colour, but can't change it now. So let's just embrace it. Now I will remember to leave that to dry and not put my hand in it like I often do with Nuvo drops. I always forget until I use them how much I love Nuvo drops. So that just, I quite like that actually. But that is going to do it for this layout. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a close-up because I actually really like this layout. I hope you guys do too as well. Let's refocus that. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the description box down below where you can find the playlist. Sandie's channel and everybody else playing along is included in the playlist. Do check them out because there is tons of inspiration for Follow a Sketch February, and I will be back for day 15 tomorrow, so it means we are halfway through already. It's a leap year, so there are 29 days this year, or we'd be halfway through today. Tomorrow's sketch is quite a simple one, and we have a large 8x10 photo coming up. So I will see you then. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing and engaging. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow for some more scrappy fun. Bye for now.